Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. No introduction needed, but you got Bert the Hurt over here. He is in action, and you got your boy Lanny, and we can't wait to talk to you about the big dividend increases that happened this past week.
Yep, before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you're not subscribing. We are at 5,000. Now we're looking towards 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 subscribers. Thank you all for everything over this past year as we've grown our YouTube channel. And then if you like this video, just give us that thumbs up. We appreciate it, but let's get excited. We're hyped up because there were actually some dividend increases this week that we want to talk to you about, so let's jump right in.
Joe Biden's president now, and who would have thought that his inaugural week would bring in some big dividend increases to shareholders. In this video, we're not going to go down to town on the 10, 15, 20 companies that increased their dividends. It was a pretty heavy bank increase week.
It was. Yeah, we don't want to go through every individual bank, but if you own bank stocks in your portfolio, definitely check to see if you got a dividend increase.
A lot of community banks out there juicing them back. But we're going to talk about 4 dividend stocks, and there are actually 2 Dividend Aristocrats on this list, and potentially 2 ones that may be on their path to Dividend Aristocrat status.
Yeah, and the other 2 that aren't aristocrats are definitely household names that are owned by a lot of people. So we're excited to bring the news to you because it was fun to read about dividend increases this week.
Household names, tattoo names. I know Bert's got a couple on his arms probably.
Yeah, I'm running out of room. I got all these tickers making sleeves underneath this sweatshirt.
Man, don't let the Jewish hammer fool you over here. So why do dividend increases matter? Again, as a dividend investor, you want your income to grow automatically, especially if you're on your journey to financial freedom. That income stream will grow by that company increasing their dividend, which is usually based on better earnings, good cash flow, and a solid dividend payout ratio.
Exactly, Lanny. And when we're doing this and we're researching dividend growth stocks and we want to add these companies, one of the keys to us are these long-term dividend growth stocks. We want to see the companies that increase their dividend, but we also want to see the companies that have demonstrated their ability to continue increasing their dividend for decades. We mentioned 2 of these companies are aristocrats, so we know they've increased their dividend at least 25 consecutive years through many different economic cycles. So we want to be able to sleep at night with our dividend income. We want to see it grow. We don't want to have to think about it, and we want to see that the income is going to continue to increase over the years.
And that's why we only have 4 on this list, because we don't want to talk about just any increase, because some companies increase it once every couple years. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
They sprinkle an increase here, throw one over here in the decade.
Yeah, sometimes you eat a peanut butter sandwich, sometimes it's peanut butter and jelly. We want consistency to the sandwich here. We want to be that McDonald's where you can go anywhere and that burger is going to taste the same.
Exactly. Yeah, you need that perfect peanut butter to jelly ratio every single time.
Every single time. So we're going to get right into it with the 4 big dividend increase announcements this week that is juicing up your dividend income stream. Some are small increases, some are definitely large increases, Bert.
But they are increases nonetheless, and that's what's important.
Some have, small growth spurts when you're, age 12 to 18. Some have bigger growth spurts from 12 to 18.
Wait, Laney, are you taller than me?
I have him beat by probably what? Maybe 5, 6, 7 inches?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
It's all good.
Yeah, he still can almost dunk.
Yeah, if you lower the hoop a little bit.
Yeah, 8-footers work well with Bert.
Hey, doesn't matter to me.
As long as he can throw it down on somebody, push him down like Shaq did back in the Lake Show.
Yeah.
All right, so the first big dividend increase announcement, this is one of Bert's favorites, and it's actually a top 5 foundation stock.
So we are excited. Dividend stock number 1 is Consolidated Edison, ticker symbol ED. They are one of the dividend aristocrats we're going to talk here today, and they're actually on the verge of becoming that dividend king with this increase. Dividend King is a company that has increased its dividend for 50 consecutive years, and it's a very elite class of dividend growth stocks. So Con Ed, they announced that increase. Very exciting because we both own shares. Was this increase large? Was this one of the large increases we are going to talk about?
How big was this, Bert?
Not very big. It was only a 1.3% dividend increase. They increased that quarterly dividend from 76.5 shares to 77.5 shares. So a nice 1 cent increase.
How does that usually compare to inflation based on your barometer?
It is lower than inflation. Inflation's typically in that 2 to 3% range, to closer to 2%. So this is below inflation. However, they at least have a strong yield to help offset that. Their dividend yield's 4.5%.
Because what's happened to that stock price over the last, I would say 3 to 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's just kind of hanging in the low 70s. I've picked up a couple shares as the price has gone down in the utility sector.
Yeah, I've even seen it in the 68 to 70 range as well. So, not a bad time to get some of that yield. But again, the growth rate, I didn't have high expectations here with Con Ed, Bert.
No, their average going into this was in the 3 to 4% range. So it's a little below average, but it's not as if they went from 15% 5-year average growth rate down to 1.3.
And some of their energy costs to produce electricity is more than likely has gone up over the last few months. And you can see just from, a good example is, the price per barrel of oil has now kind of gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think they're in the $50-ish range.
Yeah, it's had a nice rebound, and you can see that the prices of the oil stocks happily jumping up too.
Yeah, another tattoo Bert has his Exxon on his chest, so.
Yeah, I might as well just put every oil company on my back because I feel like I've picked them up over the years.
He's carrying them.
Yeah. So if you're a Con Ed shareholder, congrats, 1.3% dividend increase. We talked about how stock number 1 was one of my favorite companies. We're going to move over to stock number 2, which is one of Lanny's favorite companies.
Yeah, I would say it was one of my longest term holdings here. And in fact, we've talked about it. You've actually seen us tweet about it. We've purchased shares recently, I think in December, when the stock price was down maybe about $10 from where they were.
Yeah, you picked that out as one of our undervalued dividend stocks to watch, so we put that in there. We added some shares. I started building a nice position in it too, and then the price jumped up accordingly.
Just watch me flex a little bit over here. No, kidding. It's not about that. But Intel, ticker symbol INTC, came in with a nice dividend increase. First, they actually crushed earnings. I think it was by what, 30+%?
Yeah, they had a great quarter.
No big. Microsoft doesn't want to use them. We'll still crush earnings.
Yeah, we'll still generate revenue,
cash flow.
Yeah, we'll still be able to pay a dividend.
Wait, was there dividend increase, which was at 5.3% this year? Was that bigger than last year's increase?
It was.
Yes. So Intel, to me, is still doing just fine. I mean, a good old chip maker, Intel inside. It's inside this bloodstream over here with the dividends they're paying us.
They're one of the legacy tech companies. Obviously, all the news and all the attention's in these new IPOs that are coming for all these tech companies, the new exciting ones. But there should still be a room in your portfolio for your companies like Intel that are just the legacy companies, build great products that generate cash flow and deliver you dividend increases.
Good balance sheet. Again, yeah, great performance. Intel, 5.3% increase, going from 33 cents per quarter per share to 34.75 cents per quarter per share. Currently yield at around 2.5%. So again, you kind of pair that together. It's not a bad combination. If you were one of those investors that was acquiring shares in the low to mid 40s about 4 to 6, 7 weeks ago, then your yield on cost is obviously much better than where they're currently yielding today. Again, congratulations, Intel shareholders. Nice job.
Yeah, you as well.
Appreciate it. Intel, stock number 2.
So dividend stock number 3 is actually the largest of the dividend increases we're going to talk about in this video today. This company, BlackRock, ticker symbol BLK. Neither of us are shareholders of this company, so we're going to tip our caps and say congratulations to all you shareholders that received this dividend increase, because they announced a 13.8% dividend increase. They increased that quarterly dividend from $3.63 to $4.13.
Is that a per quarter?
Yeah, that is a quarterly dividend increase.
Wow. I mean, one of the largest investment management firms. I mean, they're right up there with Vanguard, Fidelity, and T. Rowe Price, which, T. Rowe's ticker symbol is TROW. And again, in the investment world, BlackRock, the funds that they have, I know a lot of companies use their, funds for their 401k sponsored plans. A lot of, you can say pension assets are also built on BlackRock funds.
Yep, that's exactly what I was about to say. They play a huge role in your retirement account. So chances are, if you're not strict Vanguard, you may see BlackRock offerings in your portfolio.
Yeah, and again, BlackRock is one of the most popular names out there. They really have stood, not to say like the test of time, but they're always right there on the cutting edge and keeping up with, what is happening in the investment world.
Yeah, they're proving the test of time as well from the dividend standpoint too, because they've now increased their dividend for 11 consecutive years, which is great. I mean, They're on
And
their
that really goes back to the financial crisis time period.
Yeah. So even then, they've recovered very well when some of the other companies and some of your other asset management companies were struggling when the market collapsed.
So currently yielding 2.25%, but again, that rate beats the overall S&P 500, beats your high yield savings account rate at 0.5%. And you add in a 13+% dividend increase, BlackRock killing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Dividend Stock number 4, is a company that we've all seen. You've seen it at your workplace. You may see the trucks driving around your neighborhood. And heck, you may see a lot of cleaning happening during this global pandemic. And there's a company that really provides uniforms, cleaning supplies, et cetera, et cetera. And Bert, what is this fourth Dividend Aristocrats stock that increased their dividend this past week?
This company is Cintas, ticker symbol CTAS.
That's where Bert gets his clothes from. He's, just buys their...
Yeah, I just buy it. The truck actually drops off the clothes that people never claim, and they just leave it back on my front step, so it's perfect.
It's great.
Yeah, help save on the clothing costs. But they had a nice 7.8% increase in their dividend. Their quarterly dividend went from 70 cents a share to 75 cents a share. Now, are they the highest yielding dividend stock? Not a chance. Their dividend yield isn't even 1. So this one, unlike all of our others, is below the market. Still above that high yield savings account though, but we always like to see stocks with dividend yields above the market.
This growth that they had in their dividend increase was slightly lower than in the past, but again, it's hard to argue about an 8% dividend increase as we are still in this global pandemic, but Cintas was a huge provider during COVID-19. I mean, I know our workplace, we were having things, our rugs, carpets, cleaned much more often by Cintas. Again, they're a dividend aristocrat, but we haven't talked about that enough for Cintas.
No, we haven't, and this is why when things get tough, when times get there, they know how to adjust their product offering to still generate revenue, still generate earnings, and continue delivering that. They've increased that dividend for 36 consecutive years now, which is awesome. So they are solidly a dividend aristocrat too, not just barely on the mark. They are well above that threshold.
Cintas, ticker symbol CTAS, 7.8% dividend increase. I don't own them.
I don't own them either.
But I'm sure some of you own them, so congratulations to another dividend increase for you.
So to bring it home, let's summarize these 4 dividend increases. First, Consolidated Edison, nice 1.3% dividend increase. Number 2, Intel, Landy's favorite, 5.3% dividend increase. That was larger than their increase last year. BlackRock Investments crushed it, knocked it out of the park, 13.8% dividend increase. And last but not least, Cintas with that 7.8% dividend increase.
Now again, we want to only showcase these 4 dividend stocks because A, they're consistent, B, they're very large, that people more than likely know these names, and 3, hey, take a look at them to see if you can consider them for your dividend stock portfolio.
Yeah, and please leave us in the comment section. If you received one of the dividend increases from someone else that we didn't feature, let us know. We want to get as many names on this thread as we possibly can. We'll be pumped up just to announce it and give that comment a nice little thumbs up there and a little response. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please like it and do so, and like this video too.
This is Bert and Landy from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.